You know, things have been going so well in the playthrough for the last few stages that I figured it was time to completely have a train wreck. And that's exactly what's going to happen here in Splash Woman stage, because this one wants you gone, and it's gonna get me gone quite a bit. Why is that? Well, it's not gonna take too long to find out once we touch down into the water, because, you know what Mega Man 9's really famous for? And the same can hold true for Tornado Man stage? Yeah, it's those. It's spikes. They are everywhere in this stage. They're on the floor. They're on the ceiling. They're on the walls. Heck, some of them are even going to be suspended in midair. But, you know, it's pretty basic at the start. Got these little mines. Again, it's going to be all Splash Woman enemies. There are not going to be any homages to other NES games in this one. It's just going to be, pretty much Splash Woman mixed in with a little bit of Bubble Man and Wave Man here. And that is a recipe for disaster for some reason for me. We got our squid enemy friends that will try to ink us. There actually is an achievement, if I'm not mistaken, for getting to the boss door while inked. I'm not sure why, but it's there. Ah. Bubbles everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Yet I'm not really sure I want to be drinking this water with all the freaking spikes around. Also, that was a really good dodge there. I can't believe I made that. But yeah, you see how the spikes are just set up everywhere here? It almost feels like a hack, just like with Shadow Man stage. It's the one level that I feel goes above and beyond in trying to just mess with the player a little bit here. There are some complicated jumps, and that is a pretty tough one very early on. Still, it gets us introduced to the gimmick. We will be platforming on these bubbles quite a bit. But like I said, there are your Bubble Man platforms that fall right when you jump on them. They're not a big deal. Always make sure to stop when that camera rotates. You never know what's on the other side. I'm afraid in a level like this that there were going to be spikes. No, that's another one later on. Okay, another nice dodge. We're 2 for 2 so far. Pretty cool. Also a little bit early here, but I want you to look across this gap. You see those 2 weapon pellets? Yeah, that was a little early there, and that made me a little suspicious when I saw that. Making me think there's a secret passage through that hole there on the right. Was I right? Well, you're going to find out in a little bit. Because again, we still need to find the other 2 letters. So far we only know the one in Tornado Man stage for sure. And I would estimate that the other one's in Pharaoh Man stage, at least at the time I was playing. But yeah, see there? There's a gap above, and sure enough, that only lends a little bit more to the idea that there was a secret path above that we missed out on. Well, if that's the case, we'll be coming back here later anyway. Pending there is a letter there. This is the last checkpoint of the level, at least until you get to the boss, so... yeah, you know, when you die at this point... I mean, if you die at this point, and not like we're going to do that a little bit here... you're going to be doing this part over and over again. Thankfully, we've got 7 lives, so if it does become a problem... oh. Well, that was bound to happen. Don't let that throw you off. But yeah, let's get ready to make this jump over a large spike bed here, but gotta do it early, or... I kind of forgot to jump. Oops. Well... no reason to skip back to that jump yet. Let's just go through this a little bit faster this time, since now I know what's coming up. And to show you all that if you really hurry, you can make it up here in no time at all. Slide under the guy this time. But yeah, for this jump, make sure you jump while you're still in the water, because if you don't, you will not get enough height on that jump to get the distance to cross that 6-gap wide bed of spikes. And yeah, that would be a problem. Gonna get ourselves a little present here. I'm not sure why, because again, I said before, I'm trying to get through this game without using E-Tanks, but, you know, sometimes you gotta get a little pick-me-up. Tornado Blow gives you a little bit of an extra of a jump if you're in the ascent of the jump. I was not then, and I almost paid the price for it. But now we get the last gimmick of the level, the Splash Woman platforms that disappear once all the water evaporates inside. I don't understand how that works, but again, video game, who cares? Just seeing the sight of spikes everywhere is enough to throw me off, and I almost missed my jump there. But once we climb this ladder... huh, a ladder right out in the open? You gotta be kidding me. What's cool about this, though, is that means this should be easy to get. So we are going to make our way over to that little block there. And I want to test something out real quick. Yes, time slow does slow those platforms down. So let's get ready to get that. And let's go get that letter. Well, let's just get on back up there and go get that letter. I think we're about to go get that letter. You know, I think I'm just going to try and get myself through this nautical nightmare before we get ourselves a game over here. Because, yeah, that was 4 lives in the span of about, 2 minutes of play. And even worse, these stupid little enemy mines screwed up my shutter shuffle, which pretty much has me thrown off my game at this point completely. Because, again, remember, you die, you got to go through that bubble section again and again and again. So we're talking about 30, 40 seconds of repetition here. Yikes. Now, Splash Woman herself should be pretty easy because, unlike in Mega Man 9, we've got ourselves a slide. Right? I mean, you know, everything's going okay. It took me a little bit to figure out what's going on here, but... Oh, crud. I went into this fight with full health. Don't tell me I'm going to lose. Please don't tell me I'm going to lose. Spoilers. Yeah. This was, not a very good time for me. No. 5 deaths in 1 stage. New record. Woo. Yeah, I know the feeling, Blues. I'm singing them too, buddy. Come on, you know how to beat Splash Woman. We've done this before. Fight her just like you do in Mega Man 9. She's one of the easiest bosses in the game, along with Galaxy Man. We can do this. Let's go. Yeah, just gotta figure out where the fish come from again. It's been a little bit of time since I played Mega Man 9. I think it was, March of last year I did the single segment run. But once I figure out when to hop over those fish, we are going to have an easy time with this fight. Because I am not going to let Laser Trident hit me at all in this one again. No chance. Come on, 3, go. And then slide back on 6. There you go. And then hop over her if she's going the opposite way. It's really an easy fight, and I just made it super complicated because I think at this point, Gameplay Bean was completely on tilt. Thankfully, Commentary Bean hasn't lost his touch completely, if I ever had one to begin with. But yeah, all 8 bosses beat with the Mega Buster, and that's how we got the trusty sidearm achievement. Thank goodness. I am so glad to be done with that one. And we finally earned ourselves Laser Trident after that tremendous struggle. Luckily, it's one that was worth it, because this weapon still is one of the best ones in the Classic series, and therefore this game, because it can pierce through shields and bust down those blocks for us. Now, as much as I want to put it to good use in the Dr. Wily stages, we're not going to be doing that next time, because you know what? We already know the locations of 2 of the letters we missed out on, and once I find out where the 3rd one is, oh, we are going to go back and start collecting them. Hopefully that will go a little better than it did last time. Honestly, the only way this video would have been more of a train wreck is if I ended it in mid-sentence.